Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tim Green. My pen name is Tim RG, and this is the Skyler Grant Podcast. We finally actually settled on the name.
We did?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, one of the episodes we actually just said bad writing, bad narration. It's literally in the episode that went off yesterday.
Really?
I was like, that's what we're calling that? Yeah, it's the Skyler Grant Podcast. I'm Tim, by the way.
I'm Adam.
And what you need to know about this podcast is we're going through the only novel I ever pantsed and finished called The Chronicles of Skyler Grant. And Adam was reading a chapter. And then afterwards, we discuss what the hell was I thinking? Or any error or issue that he wants to just harp on, because this is the first draft, an unedited first draft. So in a moment, we'll be getting to chapter 18.
Oh, it's not just a first draft. It's also sight read.
Yes.
I don't read any of this before I do it. Okay.
Well, the first 5 chapters you did, but now you've been doing it sight read.
Yeah.
But before we get to the reading, if you go on and enjoy this podcast, why don't you hit that subscribe? Not hit that subscribe button. Give us a like button. Hit that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And then hit the subscribe button, because I have writing content on here. Adam.
Yo.
When you're ready.
All right. Skyler Grant. Chapter 18. 7 months ago. Ring! A roar of students entering the hall with the end of 8th period. The first day of school was over. For Skyler, it was the end of his first day of 9th grade. From the time school started to the time the final bell rang, he had gotten 13 girls' numbers. When you counted freshman girls who he had been in school with since the 7th grade, it was more like 24. He figured it was mostly just in case he lost their number. One girl actually had a reason, because her number changed over the summer. The 13 new girls broke down to 10 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 1 senior. The senior even asked him to prom, though it was still 8 months away. To Skyler, none of those numbers mattered. All he cared about was Hillary White. 5'5", wavy blonde, shoulder-length hair, eyes as blue as the oceans, high cheekbones, with long, firm legs that were just absolutely stunning, with a toned waist. Skyler had liked her since 5th grade, when he moved to Angel Groves, when his daddy got a new job working at the Angel Groves University as a professor in the history department. Skyler walked out of his 8th period class, down the hall, jumped down the small set of steps, turned left. He continued straight as he hit the intersection of the science wing and the rest of the school. He continued straight until he came near the end of the hall. He walked over, squeezed in between 2 girls. One was a freshman like Skyler, Jessica Greenberg, a girl with fine red hair that came down to the middle of her back. Bright green eyes, the only freshman girl to have a reason to give him her number. The 2 knew each other since 5th grade. They lived right next to each other and became instant friends. Everyone told them that they would end up together, but they never saw each other like that. The other girl was a junior, Kim Grant, Skyler's ugly older sister. No offense to her, but the looks went to Skyler. Kim was not very popular, and in fact was picked on because of her weight. Skyler always told her if she would work out a little and not eat junk food every day, she wouldn't be so big. But Kim would always say she is big-boned, and that would be the end. Skyler and Kim hated each other. It was bad enough they lived in the same house, but to have their lockers right next to each other just made it worse. Skyler spun his lock dial quickly. 9, 22, 10. With a click, the locker popped open. He went to opened. He reached to pull it open. Bang! Skyler's locker slammed shut. Skyler turned to see his pudgy older sister standing next to him with a pink spaghetti-strap shirt too small for her. Rolls of her fat bunched up under the bottom of her shirt. Her fat barrel-like legs, slightly blue from being forced into a pair of capri pants way too small for her. Her dark brown hair pulled back into a ponytail revealed her sausage-like neck, and her dark brown eyes peering over the tops of her bulging cheeks. Skyler could have sworn he saw a stream come out of her pig-like snout. "Oops, sorry," she said, cracking a smile. Skyler wished she didn't. He could smell her nasty breath that smelt like she hadn't brushed her teeth in months. "I'm just glad your fingers weren't in there." "Sure," said Skyler before entering his combination again. "Just ignore her, Skyler," said Jess, closing her locker. "You have 2 years before she graduates. The only way you'll make it is by ignoring her." "Wrong," said Skyler, turning to face his friend. 2 years, if she passes. Looking at her report card last year, I think I have a better chance of graduating in 2 years than she does." "Shut up, shitbag," shouted Kim, shoving Skyler into Jess. "You know I have a learning disability." "Yeah, it's called eating when you should be studying." "How many times do I have to tell you that I am big boned?" "Probably about 1 billion, said Jess, pulling her strap back over her shoulder after it fell off when Skyler hit her. "And after that, you will still have to say it, because no one will believe you until you stop eating whole Thanksgiving meals for lunch." Kim head was turning red. Skyler knew one of 2 things was about to happen. One, Jess was about to get decked, or Kim was going to storm off and cry when she had a loan and then eat his family out of house and home. The latter happened. Kim's whole head was scarlet red before she turned and stormed off. Skyler turned and looked at Jess, who wiped her hand across her forehead. She knew she dodged a bullet there. Jess could hold her own in a fight. She boxed at the local Boys and Girls Club for as long as he knew her. But 2 years ago, she got in a shouting argument with Kim over some bad call. The shouting turned into fists. The fight did not last long. Kim hit Jess, and from what she told him, she was dazed. She was able to keep away from her because, Kim was faster. But one more hit, she would have been out. Since then, she tried to avoid fights with Kim. Skyler quickly put his combination in his locker again. In a second, he heard the click as the locker popped open. He grabbed the edge and pulled it open. Quickly, he unloaded his books. Once his bag was empty of textbooks and notebooks, he closed his locker and turned to Jess. "What?" "Going to be another year of you doing your homework in study halls. In the class before the homework is due again, I see," said Jess, shaking her head. "Yep." "For someone as smart as you, if you actually put in an effort, you would be top of our class." "Why would I want to do that?" I'm going to get a full ride to college for playing basketball." "Sure, you say that now, when you still have 4 years ahead of you. What if something happens where you can't play basketball?" "Don't, kid. You know that I'm the most resilient person you've ever seen. How long did it take me to come back from my broken arm last year?" 3 weeks? That's only because you cut your cast off yourself, which was even dumber than what got you that cast in the beginning. Skyler turned, looked in a direction Kim had went when she stormed off. He looked back to Jess when he had whipped his head back. Just as he looked over, Hillary White had walked around the corner, carrying her books tight against her chest, with her arms wrapped around them. She had a light pink tank top with a white flowery patterned vest. Her white bra strap poked out from under the tank top. Her beautiful blonde wavy hair was pulled back behind her ears, held there by black clips on the side of head and one in the back. Her jean skirt that looked like had been ripped from a long dress stopped several inches above her knee, showing off her tender legs. Hillary was walking with her friend Christine Rose, a tall, light brown-haired girl who was skinny as a beanpole. Sorry, that is skinny as a beanpool. Skyler's heart started to race. He felt like he had butterflies in his stomach. "Go talk to her," said Jessica as she whispered in his ear. "She is just a girl, and for a guy who just got 24 numbers from girls, I'm pretty sure she would love for you to ask her out." "Are you crazy?" said Skyler, turning to face Jess. "I tried 53.5 times last year to ask her out and failed." "How did you get a half-time?" "I walked up to her and was about to ask her when she walked away. She didn't even know I was there." "Oh, for God's sakes. Hey, Hillary." Skyler's eyes widened. He couldn't believe what he had just did. He turned to see Hillary heard Jess and was walking over to them. His butterflies got worse. He felt dizzy and was going to fall over. The closer she got, the worse he felt. Christy did not come with her. She continued down the hall. She got within a few feet and everything changed. He was hyperventilating. He was sucking in air through his mouth and nose when he got a nose full of sweet-smelling fragrance. It seemed to put him at ease, just in time as she stopped in front of him. "Yes, Jess?" She said with a smile. "Skyler was just telling me how he liked your vest," said Jess, elbowing Skyler, causing him to crash into his locker with a loud bang. "You all right?" asked Hillary. "Yeah," said Skyler, straightening up, trying to act like it didn't affect him when his arm was sore. "Good, and thanks. I wasn't sure if I should have worn it today." "No, I'm glad you did. The color goes well with your tank top." "Thanks. How was your first day?" "It was good, but it just got better." Hillary smiled and started to blush. Skyler couldn't believe she didn't think that was cheesy, even he thought it was dumb. He just wanted to slam his hand into his face for that stupid line. But she liked it. He wanted to say something else, but couldn't think of what to say. "Really?" said Jess, looking at Skyler. "How was your day, Hillary?" "Yeah, how was your..." "It was okay, but it seems to be getting better. How about you?" "Oh, I had a great day, full of laughs." "That's good. I gotta go. I gotta get to my locker and get to my locker." "Okay, see you tomorrow." "Yeah, have a good rest of the day." "You too." Hillary turned and headed down the hall the direction Skyler had come. He knew she had to walk all the way up towards the science wing to get to her locker because of her last name. Once she was far enough away, he turned to Jess and punched her right in the arm. "Ouch! What was that for?" "You know very well what that was for. Why did you call her over here for?" "So you can get over your fear of talking to her. How are you ever going to ask her out if you don't talk to her? Skyler, for God's sakes, I have seen you flirt with a senior girl today and get her number. But a freshman girl who you already have her number, you can't talk to. Even when she is clearly interested in you." I can't help it. I like her so much, I just stumble over my words. I was about to pass out right here before I got a quick whiff of her perfume. "What are you talking about? She isn't interested in me." "Ah!" "I swear, Why are boys so clueless when girls like us? What? Skyler, you do realize that Hillary's last class is study hall in room 217, right? I do now. Smack. Ouch! Shouted Skyler, holding his face. What the hell was that for? Where is 217? And I swear if you tell me you don't know, I'm going to kick you right in the balls. I plead the fifth. Your first class of the day is in 217. Oh. It's the last classroom on the south side before the bend near the gym. Why is that important? I'm going to kick you. Okay? I'm going to make this as simple as I can. Hillary, her locker is up by the science wing, right? Yes. If her last class is in 217, she could just turn right when she comes out of the room to go through the gym and be at her locker. But she didn't. She went out of her way to use this hall because your locker is here. Did you notice the moment I called her over here, where you were standing, Christy kept walking. Also, she took her sweet time the moment she came around the corner just so she could see you longer and possibly that you might say hi. Do you see where I'm going with this? A light went off in Skyler's head. Finally, it all made sense. He couldn't believe that the girl he has liked since he first saw her the first day of 7th grade when Angel Grove's two elementary schools, 6th grade classes, came together to form one giant class. Skyler knew he had to ask her out. The question could be, just because he knew she liked him, didn't mean he was going to not be nervous. What if she liked someone else in this hall and just was wrong? What if she... Skyler began. Do I need to smack you again? The light right up the moment she realized I called her name because it gave her a reason to come over to talk to you. Now stop being a dumb boy and ask her out. Jess turned and walked away. She rounded the corner and was gone. Skyler quickly pulled out his cell to see it was 2:24. He was not sure how long it would take Hillary to get to her locker and get back to the main entrance. Instead of trying to fight the oncoming traffic and go to her locker, she had to walk down the main sidewalk. If she used the entrance by room 217 or the main entrance. He figured it would be better for him to wait outside, turned and followed after Jess. He rounded the corner. It was a straight shot to the main doors. Within a minute, he was outside on the steps. He quickly got off to the side where he could see the sidewalk and people coming out of the main doors. A few minutes passed. The crowd had shrunk to a trickle. He thought he might have missed her. In a way, he was relieved. He had another day before he had to ask her, but all that ended when he turned back up the sidewalk. There she was, walking down the sidewalk. At the far end, she was walking with purpose, trying to get to her bus. As she got closer, he noticed she looked not sad, but happy. A hair blew freely in the wind. We try to fight that off for a while. Her bag draped over her right shoulder that came across her chest down her bag. Walked right by him and she didn't even notice. Skyler hadn't even realized this until she was several feet away. when he took notice. "Hillary!" shouted Skyler, jumping down the 5 steps, landing on the hard pavement of the sidewalk with a loud smack. "Yeah," said Hillary, turning around to see who called her name. The moment she saw Skyler walking towards her, a beautiful smile came out. Skyler took a breath. "What are you doing now?" "Gotta catch my bus home." "No, I mean, what are you going to do after that?" "Nothing really. Watch TV." "If that's what you're going to do, want to come over to my house and watch TV or maybe a movie?" Skyler did not think it was possible, but he was wrong. Hillary's smile grew even bigger. "I would love to." "Great. I just got to clear it with my mom first." Hillary pulled out her phone, flipped it open, which typed out a text, and hit send. A few seconds later, a loud beep came from her phone. She pressed a button and read it a second later. She looked up. "She said it was okay and would be there to pick me up at 5. "Awesome!" Hillary walked up to him, and he turned to head back the way they both came. Within a few seconds, they were walking side by side. They reached the end of the sidewalk and cut through the teacher's parking lot. Skyler slowly slipped his hand inside of Hillary's and wrapped his fingers around between hers. He looked down before looking back up at him. Skyler just smiled, and she smiled back, and they continued towards the woods.
Okay, that was a long chapter.
Yeah, that was a long ass chapter.
I will say this: that was probably some of the best character work so far.
Oh, thank you.
Not your narration. I'm talking about that too.
Oh no, it was purely the character work came from my great understanding of all of these characters.
Sure it does.
And by the way, you got obsessed with just describing everyone.
Oh, trust me. We'll get to that. First off, I'm actually impressed at the character work that I got out of this, the narration, the dialogue.
Oh, absolutely.
Besides the grammar and all that other.
Just being frustrated with Skyler's just Skylering.
I care more about want Jess to show back up now.
I love Jess as a character.
Love Jess.
Where did she go?
I hope
the best friend.
I hope she shows back up because I really liked her. Based on that, just there. Most important thing, I forgot Skyler had a sister. Did not remember I actually gave him a sister. A horrible sister.
Yeah.
Let alone a overweight sister.
You got a little vicious with her. Like that was teenagers picking on each other vicious.
Well, that was the idea because the idea was
your description of her
I know.
that bad.
Well, also remember though, it's through Skyler's viewpoint.
I know, but
I know. I was like, I think I channeled my inner, not my inner, but channeling Harry Potter level description of.
Yeah, it was like, I hate this person. It was like, geez, you make me want to hate this person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're beautiful on the inside. One day we'll get in there.
But so I don't know. We didn't go into as much as I thought we was going to, but after the 2 of these, I had to write this part down. Why am I instantly telling backstory for all the characters we meet? Because we got the background on Skyler, which we already knew, but learning about how he got 13 numbers, that was freshman. So when you calculate everyone else, it was 24. So giving him he's the Uber player.
Why?
Wish fulfillment, apparently.
I guess, there is a lot of Skyler that I just go, why is this kid this lucky?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, it's called plot armor.
No, it's called wish fulfillment.
Oh, absolutely.
Really. And then, but yeah, explaining that, I forgot how much of a player I decided to make him. Clearly, that was on in the begin. That was obviously on the day of, because
Because Skyler, even up to this point, seems like the kind of guy that you go, look, he has a weird confidence.
Yeah.
But he's not confident in his confidence.
Yeah. Only to find out, oh no, he's confident in his confidence. Except for this one girl.
Yeah, and now it's just like, oh no, he's the most confident teenager who has ever been.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Oh, and by the way, we just gotta get this out of the way. It's official. ISIS is no more.
Yes. It's official. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Skyler is going after her mother.
I know. I know. It's a little weird.
That Skyler is going after an older woman.
That
in the very first chapter.
Yeah, let me get back to the first chapter.
Yep.
Hillary.
Yep.
Where's my daughter? It's like, wait a second. That you know what? This could also be, a flash forward.
No.
Yeah, and that Skyler and her had already been together, but she accidentally got trapped back in time and had a kid with somebody else.
Yeah, no.
Because Skyler's not born yet. And she gave birth to herself.
That's just weird, man.
I know.
Not that this is weird. Some of the stuff was going to come up with some of these ideas I went through and looked at. But that was weird. One of them that could be odd there. But the fact that we now officially changed the name from ISIS to Hillary.
Yeah. By the way, much better name.
Yes. And the fact that for some reason, the one girl he absolutely likes, he cannot talk to.
Nope.
Which actually I think is kind of actually fitting for the character we know.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he has that bravado because he doesn't care.
Yeah, it's just a bravado. It's not a real confidence.
No, that's a bravado, but there is a confidence there, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't care. It's just like, oh, the senior girl asked me to prom.
Oh, that's cool. Whatever.
Cool. You're hot. Give me your number. Not gonna do anything because he doesn't care because he wants her.
Yep.
He likes her. Likes Hillary is the girl he likes. That's teenagers get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Insecure teenagers when it comes to that thing, like me when I was that age. Like I can never
I channeled my inner self, and I was just like, yeah, when you do the ask out and you're super nervous, you just run through it. You want to come over and watch some TV or maybe watch a movie? And they're like, yes,
Yeah.
Because she knows that you are ridiculously nervous.
Yep.
And she's also ridiculously nervous that she's just like, I can be the calm one. Okay.
Yeah. I get to be the calm one. I get the answer.
You're okay. You're going to be so nervous you don't know what you're going to do, and I don't know what I'm doing either. So,
and my obsession for direction again happened. I used the school, my high school, for this one. Because when I said down the stairs, I'm like, why is there? And then we got like, oh no, there's because there were stairs, a few stairs into the high school science wing, by the gym. You had to go up them to get to it. You jump down, you go straight, you get to a circle. That's a square circle, like basically. Okay. It was called the circle for us, but like because you could just go in a.
Yeah.
But it's literally a square.
All right. Okay.
And if you went straight down that hallway, Skyler's locker was where my locker was in that.
Okay.
And if you kept going, you got to the turn. Straight ahead was the cafeteria. You turn, straight shot to the outdoors. When you get about halfway down, the library was on your right. The auditorium was on your left, heading that direction. There's a little circle around that where lockers and the band room was, some art teachers, and then in the middle school was further down. Like, I used all that as my school. Like, I don't know about other schools. I'll use mine. But me having to do directions again.
Oh, yeah.
No, we got lost with some of... And I don't know why I have her locker so far by the science wing, because when I was there, they didn't have lockers that far up.
Well.
I'm wondering, because at one point, I did go back to the high school visiting, and maybe I think they may have had some lockers that way at that point. It was, and I remembered that at that time I did it, but I don't remember.
Huh.
So, but
it's also interesting because you made it so that she was obviously
yeah,
walking past Skyler in order to be able to, like, hey,
Yep.
you gonna holla at me? And she's like, oh, Jess had to bring me over here. Skyler, come on.
yep.
Come on.
The interaction.
I also, in my head, have Skyler being about an inch or two shorter than Hillary. Hillary is like 5'8", 5'7", 5'8".
No, because if I was the way I was writing it, it would have been because this really. Let's be honest, it's a cutout for me.
Oh, I know.
It's a stand-in for me. I would have been taller. Because if I remember correctly, I'm thinking I may have used one of the girls I had a crush on in high school as the basis.
Oh, for crying
And
out loud. Okay.
I was taller than her. Also, I was 6'2". I was 6 foot by that point.
By
I was
freshman year?
I was 6
Jeez.
foot. I was in 6 foot in 6th grade.
Fuck, I hate you.
I actually stopped.
Do you know how long it's been since how long it's taken me to reach 6 feet?
A while. You're still waiting.
I'm on 45 years here, okay?
Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting for this to finally. When's that last
It's
inch and a half?
It's not gonna happen, Adam.
I was told it was going to happen.
Nope. I actually grew more in my spine in my high school years.
Oh, nice.
So, but yeah, but yeah, Sky would have been taller, not by much if I remember correctly. Maybe I don't know who it was I used. Maybe not. Who knows?
I just
But yeah, that was the longest chapter. It was interesting to see how we held on to a scene for that long.
I know.
It was engaging the entire time.
Engaging. For me.
And the fact that there was numerous spelling mistakes and grammar issues.
Really? No.
You couldn't tell how you read them. You just read them so clearly, and
I even had to change some words.
yeah,
So that I wouldn't stumble.
yeah, that's
Because there were a number of times where I knew what you were trying to go for.
it just wasn't there.
Nope.
That's what happens to my first drafts, though. Like when I'm writing, I leave words out.
Oh, it's not just left words out. You put words in that.
Oh, I know.
That's not that word.
Oh yeah, my first drafts are horribly misspelled and grammar issues, by far. So, but yeah. So it was interesting to see we get what happened here. I don't remember what happened in the last chapter because it's been a little while since we read chapter 17. But the fact that we're going to hear now is interesting. And the fact that Skyler has a sister that we haven't mentioned yet.
By the way, I also like the line of, I gotta go, gotta get to my locker, and get to my locker.
But that actually kind of fits because he's so nervous. Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't, because of your labeling for and for what people who's talking, it's not easier to understand in a 3-person conversation.
Yep.
Who's talking?
But yeah, so it's interesting we got some fleshed out characters. I hope for the love of God that Jess comes back up, because she was a delight in this
She's
scene.
awesome. She's sassy.
Yeah.
She is done with Skyler's shit because she's known him for way too long, which is hilarious because his first day of school in Angels Grove was 7th grade, but he's been he's known her since 5th grade.
Yep.
Which
when he moved into 5th grade.
Yeah, but so he wasn't part of Angels Grove school for 2 more years after moving to town.
I think what the idea was behind
he going to a private school?
I think that the idea was he fell in love with Hillary the first time he saw her when the 2 6th grade classes of Angels Grove. Yeah, but it was so poorly.
The way that it's stated, it comes across as that Skyler.
It was his first day in Angel Grove.
First day in Angel Grove.
Yeah. So.
And it's like, no, she's from the other side of town. Yep. They had their own elementary school. Then it's middle schools together.
Yeah. By the way, when it comes to Skyler's sister, I don't know if we're gonna see her again. I honestly do not know.
You were mean in the way that you described her.
Yes.
I felt bad reading
I
it.
was like, wow, I went harsh.
Like,
on
that is harsh.
Yeah, I went harsh on that. But when you, it fits though perfectly in my mind for Skyler to do that as someone who he hates that much.
Yes.
To like go as a 14-year-old.
Fuck you.
To go that harsh.
I really, though, I wish we had more of Kim.
Oh, I
Just because I really like Kim talking like this, okay, man?
I kind of hope she shows back up, but I don't think she will.
She's got superpowers. Turns out she's actually big boned.
See, I think the funny thing would be is if I ever decide to rework this series and do the series again, having her come back later, like she shows up for a little, like a small piece, but then she comes back late in the series, and
as the ultimate antagonist.
No, not as the ultimate antagonist. She just comes back and she does have some kind of superpower. She's an enemy at first, but you have to.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I don't plan on doing that anytime
We get the
soon.
Kim storyline for a little bit.
If I ever do this series.
Oh, I now I want to pick it up.
You've been saying that. You've been saying that since you started this.
I want to rewrite this.
Anything else you want to talk about, Adam?
No.
The main thing I just want to know is why now? Why are we getting this part here? I wish I would.
I don't know. I like the fact that it's the writer who's having those questions. Like, why did I do this?
I can't remember chapter 17 that much. It's been a while since we did that chapter. So I'm trying to remember what happened there. So then why are we coming here? But they can't be dating that long because it's 6 months.
Jenna, they were at the dojo.
Oh, yeah, the training thing.
Yeah. And now we do a flashback to only 7 months earlier.
Yeah, so they start dating really quickly, and then she gets kidnapped, and he gets framed real quick. Within a month. Within a month or so. Because he's gone for about 6 months before he comes back. So this happens real fast.
Like, within days. Because you have to remember, it was still like, 2 weeks before he met Jing?
I think it's like 2 weeks when he meets Jing,
and
before he starts training.
Because he takes off because the cops are after him, but there's usually an investigation for a while.
The idea is I think the idea was when they came to arrest him, the investigation was over.
Which means that they either did a super quick investigation,
which would make sense with this in the context of Daniel's being corrupt.
Right. But a full investigation to charge him with murder, it would have days.
Oh yeah,
because
sweep it. He comes.
Because you go from, honestly, you have a 1 month period. Kind of, because he trained for how long?
According to that, we actually don't know how long he was trained beforehand.
Okay.
Because we get the impression he's been training with Jin for a while, but he trains another week after his powers unlocked.
Okay.
Well, one of his powers unlocked. We realize that.
And he does mention that it was days. That Jing just kept knocking him down.
Well, that's what I mean, but it's implied because he was kept trying to figure out a way to take him down,
right?
Instead of actually learning the lesson he was trying to be taught, because Skyler's being Skyler.
Yeah, but
it kind of does imply that he's been there for a little bit,
and that was the start of it, and then from there.
So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Okay,
but
I'm starting to put this together.
But Adam, this makes me really interesting. Because if they're only together a month, a certain
I don't even think it was a month. I honestly think it was a week.
No, I think it's about a month.
That your timeline. Then once again, you have problems with your timeline, sir.
Well, probably, but no, because when he comes back, it's 6 months since he ran.
Right.
So this would be a month before. It said 7 months prior.
Yes.
So they're together for about a month.
You got to remember. How long has it been since he showed back up in town to the dojo with Jenna?
Not like a week.
Seriously?
I think it's about a week.
So he...
Yes, it's a week, because remember the timeline he gave? You have 7 days.
Then how is he getting from one town to another place so quickly?
We'll have to see if we figure that out, because I don't know. But the fact that they remain only dating for a month, maybe less than that, it's going to make some context for a scene later on.
Okay.
Really, really, why?
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
So, but I was also going to bring up something I remembered about what I was going to do with this series, but this has been going on for a little. I'll have to save it for another episode. But, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it there. What did you think of this scene? Tell us down in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this scene as much as we did? Maybe you have answers to why I would have put this scene here of all places.
Yep.
Let me know down there. Again, if you enjoyed this episode, so you made this far in the podcast, why don't you go and hit that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And subscribe. Because I'll put some videos on. I'll put some stuff up on the screen now. One for the rest of this podcast. So if you haven't listened to the other episodes, you can go listen to that now. And other videos that are on this channel that are best fitted for you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.